Good morning and happy Monday. It's Lee Henson here, president and founder of AgileDad. It's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand-Up. And without any further ado, let's get started. So it's 2020. It's COVID central. It's pandemic time. We've been spending a lot of days at home. That just goes to show you how many days I've been here. And I think that we should be focused on part of our attention, at least, on trying to do things to better build ourselves, to better build our toolkit. And I got an email from someone and I said, what books would you recommend on Agile project management that you would take with you anywhere you go in 2020 and read? So I went to my bookcase and I put together a list of some powerful books, some books that I think will help you really get your head around what's going on. And they're in no particular order. One's not better than the other. I'm just throwing out some ideas. So there's one called the Lean Product Playbook, How to Innovate with Minimum Viable Products, or MVPs, by Dan Olson. Let me tell you, I did read this book, and companies all over the world have successfully adopted lean thinking measures. But some teams run into challenges trying to apply lean as they feel they lack specific guidance on what exactly they should be doing. This book, foundationally, is exactly what you need to solve that problem. It's going to give them the foundational pieces that they need. Nothing ever replaces training, but this will at least get you on track to build the MVP correctly and to get things to market faster. It'll help give you that guidance that you need. So it doesn't matter whether you're a startup or a global company, this book is going to give you the foundational practices that you need in order to be successful. So that one's the Lean Product Playbook. And it is How to Innovate with Minimal Viable Products and Rapid Customer Feedback by Wiley. Right? Wiley Press, and Dan Olson's the author. Okay, second book, The Lean Startup. This is one everybody should have, right? The author is Eric Ries. And I guess if you're looking for more information about lean startup principles and want to apply in product development, this is your book. It's a great accompaniment to what you're currently doing with Agile. It's not really when it strips things down and says, hey, you have to do it this way. It teaches you how to identify the target market and create your business around demands from potential clients, which is exactly what you want to do. In this case, Eric spent some time explaining how to create a new brand and stay innovative, or how to apply the original lean methodology to precursor of Agile. Interesting. So by going back to the beginning, you learn how to do the things of the future. I totally agree with this. It's almost like the Lean Bible, if you will. It's once again, it's the Lean Startup. It's a New York Times bestseller. It's how today's entrepreneurs continuous innovation to create radically successful businesses. And Eric did a fantastic job with that. Now, I am personal friends with the author of this next book, or authors, I should say. The next book I want to throw on the list is The Software Project Manager's Bridge to Agility by Michelle Sliger and Stacia Broderick. Let me tell you something. This book is simply fantastic. It's a fundamental book. It's one that everybody should have in their toolkit. This is going to help you better understand traditional approaches and processes and how they transition into Agile methods. So this is a less expensive version of some of the more expensive books that help you really embrace the better way to do things. It shows a clear difference between traditionally plan-driven methods and vision-driven Agile. I mean, it is like the guidebook for that. So, with these ladies being, so experienced, even to the point where they have PMPs as well as Agile certifications. This is the book that sort of bridges the gap, if you will, no pun intended. But it gives you the opportunity to really see how this should be done and how it can be applied in real life. I love the book. Another one that is a must-have book is Coaching Agile Teams, a companion for Scrum Masters, Agile Coaches, and Project Managers in Transition by Lissa Atkins. Let me tell you, this book blew me away the first time I read it. This is the coach's handbook, right? This book gives project leaders guidance and advice, not only in understanding the new role, but also in enabling the teams to self-organize and take new responsibilities that previously were handled by project managers. This is, whenever I get the question, what do I do with my project managers? It goes straight to this book. This is where it helps you deliver innovations. This is where it helps you understand that this is a challenging role and that you're going to be transitioning. And it just gives you a real good guide on what you should be doing if you're coaching Agile teams. Very, very good book. Next one is Project Management the Agile Way, Making It Work in the Enterprise by John Goodpasture. So this book is very helpful. Well, let's put it this way. It contains fresh information, right? And it does focus on relevant Agile principles, just like all of these do. But it's a new approach to help teams get back on track and avoid, bending rules before mastering them. They need to figure out how to master things first. And this book just kind of gives you a blueprint, if you will, on how to master the basics, how to look for evolution in Agile methods, how to scale, and how to recognize alternatives. There's just a lot of good things on this, and I think the thing that caught my attention here was the rowing team on the front, the sculling team. And I think that when these people work together, they do a fantastic thing, and that's what makes this book so special. Of course, there's the ultimate staple, the one shame on you if you don't have it. This is Scrum, The Art of Doing Twice the Work in Half the Time by none other than the Dr. Jeff Sutherland. This book really gives you the full scope and background of what Scrum does and how it works, right? It has a lot of interesting facts and cases. This is the book you give to people who have every other book, right? It's useful for any leader, but it also addresses Scrum from a mid-level management standpoint and from a team standpoint. So you get a little mix of everything here. And it's just going to help you realize that you can achieve the unachievable and that you can move forward and that you can do some pretty incredible, amazing things, right? Here's another one. Another staple, Agile Retrospectives, Making Good Teams Great by Esther Derby and Diana Larson. I've had so many conversations with Diana about this book. This book is simply amazing. This is where they share all their professional experience of helping software companies reach their full potential. They do this by using well-run retrospectives. And what I can tell you is without a doubt that this is by far, one of the best books you can get. User Stories Applied by Mike Cohn. This is all about developing user stories that clearly define a functionality we're trying to build. This is an essential. This is one that just you must have in your bookcase and you must take it out and read it regularly. This is one of the things that you absolutely must have. And then finally, rounding out the list, is none other than my dear friend Ken Rubin with Essential Scrum. That book just blew my mind the first time I read it. It is just one of the most powerful books, and if you only buy one, buy this one. This book has college-level emphasis as well as elementary level understanding, and it uses a lot of visual and graphic representation to help you really embrace and understand how Scrum really works. And it goes beyond Scrum, too, but what I can tell you is this book is just fantastic. My favorite, my top book on the list. And what I can tell you is if you read any of these books, it's going to make you a better Agilist. It really will. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that the requester got a lot out of it. That would be my go-to list for Agile books. If you have any other questions that you'd like to know, feel free to email us at learnmore@agiledad.com, where we'd love to cover your topic and talk about things that are important to you as an individual. Until next time, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Do take care.